Hello, Ramdino here, coming at you again for another Appalachian Trail community news and Thru Hiker update. Well, I'm a little baritone because it's early this morning. I need to go ahead and get this out to you folks because in just a few short hours, Trail Boss and I will be winging our way across the Atlantic on our way for our mission trip to Poland. So y'all be thinking and praying about us. Whatever you do, send us some good vibes and prayers, and looking forward to that. But let's go ahead and see what's going on with the thru hikers that are out there on the Appalachian Trail. So we got Santiago. He is north of Whiteville, past the 600-mile mark. The Breeze made it to Harper's Ferry. He said it was closed, but someone came out and took his picture after he had been there for a while. Hopefully it was somebody with the ATC and not a random person. Sunshine and Mako, they have made it the quarter way and 600 miles. So congratulations to him. And they met Aquaman coming into Atkins, and they're currently somewhere around Pearisburg. So a lot of folks meet Aquaman as he heads, our first Sobo of the year, as he heads south, getting their photos taken with him. Logan and his family of 11 are almost to Dix Creek Gap. And Logan's trail name is Wolverine, and he's along with BLT, which stands for Brave Little Toaster, Hummingbird, Footlong, Potato, The Winds, and BDE. 3Pete started his third thru hike on April 5th and is now in Franklin. He'll be at the Knock by the Friday. And his first thru hike was in 1992. His second was in 02 and now in 22. So he's been hitting those twos a lot. I'm sure it has changed tremendously since then. Dolly has made it to Gatlinburg, and they have passed the 200-mile mark. Turbo, he's from the flatlands of Orlando, Florida. So I'm sure those puds down in Georgia are giving him a fit. And not only that, he is disabled. He has a left hand amputation below the elbow, legally blind, and only about 25% of vision is in his left eye. So he made it so far as Trey Gap. Took a little time off there in Helen, get him some good German food, and he is back on trail. So move slowly during the ascents, but his turbo kicks in the ascents and the flats, and hopefully he'll be in North Carolina sometime this weekend. Letterman, Straps, Chatterbox, Boston, and T, they are through the Triple Crown this weekend. They've at least made it as far as McAfee's Knob. Sent this picture here of this awesome sunset. Awesome picture of those silhouettes there. And Letterman was packing out a pizza as well. So took a little town food up to the Triple Crown. So they passed that 700-mile mark. They did say that water was a little scarce coming through the last week up into the Triple Crown section. So just remember that as you're cameling up. Gazelle is heading out of Daleville. Lady Jane's closing in on the Knock. Shannon, who's now known on the trail as Boogie On, got on trail at Harper's Ferry on her solo AT flip-flop thru hike, and she made it through Maryland and into Pennsylvania. And just to show you how small a world that the hiking community and the trail community is, she met my buddy and come along's buddy Retread, who helped support us through Vermont last year and going to be doing the same thing again this year. She bunked with him, and there was somebody else who had bunked with him as well. So I thought that was pretty neat. She's at least the second person to indicate she'd run into Retread out there. So Retread's doing a lash up to Delaware Water Gap. Mule and Inchworm, they are moving from Franklin to the Knock. Had a tough week with a lot of varying conditions out there, injuries to the back legs, and decided to rest and recuperate and do some trail magic while they were doing it in the process. So one of the things I didn't know about Inchworm was that she has MS. So that is just a testimony to not only the challenge of the AT, but combat that with MS and what a challenge that is, and overcoming those challenges in life. So get out there. That's just a great example of how folks overcome those challenges. We've got amputees out there, folks that got MS, just all kind of stuff, overcoming challenges. So that's just awesome inspiration for folks out there. Gadget and Mosey, they're off temporarily, but they'll be back next week to get back on the Shannies. They're going to be doing the car method, so they'll be hiking with the car and then moving it ahead and then shuttling back and continuing their no-bow trip up to the car. And that way they can use the car for resupply and slack packing. So there's several people that are doing that this year. Spotter, she has made it down into Irwin. Her hands are doing much better. Last week she had some pretty blistered hands from the sun, so those have healed up good after she went to the urgent care, got some medicine there for those. She's also got her sun gloves now, so hopefully that is going to work out for her, and she won't have any more issues with that. Lazarus, he got his picture with the first Sobo, Aquaman. He's in Bland of Lynchburg, and he'll be attending services there for Easter. Sunshine and Mako, they are doing the same thing as well. Aquaman is out of Virginia, so speaking of him and everybody getting their pictures with him, he's done with Virginia, moving through Tennessee now. He'll hit North Carolina in a few days, and he said he's seeing about 40 to 50 Nobos a day. Over the last few days he's been out there. Outback, who is hiking the ECT, but right now he's on the AT treadway. So he's starting Key West. He finished up the 24-hour Shannon's Challenge. So he did the whole Shenandoah National Park, and he did it in 21 hours and 50 minutes. And this picture here kind of says it all. He's slammed wore out, you can tell by that. But he's on to the next challenge, and that's the 4-state challenge up in where he'll be going from hitting 4 different borders. Virginia, on up through West Virginia, and then Maryland, and then hitting the PA border, and he'll be hitting 4 of those different state borders in 24 hours. So that's the 24-hour 4-state challenge out there. So good luck to him. I'm sure that he won't have any problem doing that. Moose Liver met up with Dialed In on her flip-flop, as well as Sushi and Greased Pig, and they are close to the halfway point on the trail. The Don, he got started on his Nobo and should be coming into Dix Creek any day now. Most of the shelters, he said, have been at capacity, so we still got a lot of folks that are down there in the southern part, down in Georgia. Florida Flats and Maytag, they have made it through the Roan Highlands and are finally out of North Carolina, so they'll be in Hampton shortly. Bricks has passed Pearisburg and is approaching the 700-mile mark. And the Triple Crown says it's been very sparse as far as seeing folks there. So he's got a bubble behind him and one in front of him, but he kind of feels like that he's in between those bubbles, probably in between where a lot of people dropped out at one time in there. So he said he had only seen 3 Nobo hikers last week. Crossword made it to Thornton's Gap this morning on his flip-flop and went home for the rest of the day. So he's did 80 miles for the week, but he lives in Maryland, so it's easy for him to get home. But he's coming back to Harper's Ferry next Saturday for the Flip-Flop Festival. Bugs has made it through the Smokies and the Hot Springs with Digger-Doo, Reality Check, Fern, Nash, Vegas, Hot Sauce, and Milkman. They took a 0 there, going to be hitting the spa and getting back on trail. Custom is heading to Dick's Gap and hiking a really weird hike, choosing to go without cell service. So that is really weird in today's time. He is taking a cell phone with him, but he's only using offline maps and GoodHook and the weather apps for it. But it is causing him problems booking hostels and booking shuttles. So he has to hitchhike a lot and then tag along with folks there and stuff. So he's trying to focus on the trail and not be on his cell phone every day like he sees a lot of people doing. So that's admirable. That's pretty neat. Of course, hike your own hike. If you want to be on your cell phone, be on your cell phone. If not, enjoy creation out there without the distraction of that. Tabasco has left Irwin and has passed Beauty Spot and somewhere around Station 19E on Monday. Disco and Come Along, they hit Irwin and they ran into a trail angel friend of Come Along's and I's, and that was Marlene. So we've had the opportunity to get some trail angel magic from Marlene on a couple occasions and did a few miles with her actually up in Hampton. So it was pretty neat for that, see that reunion, and just once again goes to show you what a small community the trail is. 4-pack will hit Virginia Triple Crown sometime early this week. Just John and Trinket, they have made it to Damascus. Dean from Dean's List says the bubble is big and large, and he is looking forward to the knock this weekend. Radioactive's on the way to Waynesboro and the Shenandoahs. Preston has made it out of the Smokies. Doug and Donna from the Gypsy Wind channel, they have made it to Fontana. Ken is starting his flip-flop 70 miles south of Harper's Ferry so he can be at the Flop Festival up there that the ATC puts on next weekend. Dandelion has made it through the Grayson Highlands with no bear encounters at the Thomas Knob Shelter. So hadn't actually seen hardly any bear encounters this year. Usually by now we're getting a lot of bear reports and seeing where actually shelters have been shut down due to bears. So not sure why that's an oddity this year, but in any case, Dandelion did make it through the Grayson Highlands. Rocksteady has made it through Grayson Highlands as well, says he's getting stronger every day. Says the trail community is amazing and he is into Virginia. Robin and Batman, they have reached Klingman's Dome, and Gaia has crossed into Pennsylvania, says he's having a great time and feeling good. So that is awesome. Glad to hear that. How everybody's doing out there. Thanks for pushing me those updates, folks. That helps me out a bunch. Really going to help me out when I'm over in Poland this coming week. So keep those updates coming. If you're not on my support list, you can down the description section, you'll find that down there so that the hiking community can go out there and find your links to your social media and keep up with you and give you attaboy or attagirl all the way to Katahdin or Springer or whatever your direction of hiking is out there. So, but send them to me on Thursday or Friday, and I'll try to include you in our updates. Did have a few people that got off trail this past week, so Not Far got off due to a back injury. Moses is off due to a rotator cuff injury, and his hiking partner, Just Paul, is off due to a slipped disc, and Just Paul is back in England. Spoons is definitely off for the year. We'd been updating him about his injury, and so he's off due to his knee injury. At Foot, he is kind of off his through hike, so he's going to keep on staying on the trail, but he's not intending to do the through hike. He's just going to go as far as he can. Grapple's off trail due to plantar fasciitis in the left foot. I got it in both feet. I can sympathize with that. He's got toe numbness in his right foot and lower back pain. So he's going to the doctor, but he does plan on doing trail magic. So it's amazing to me how many people get off trail, even some folks that just get off for a few days, but they want to go do trail magic and give back. So that is awesome to hear, Grapple. So a little bit of trail news out there as a follow-up to my ATC dialogue and reporting that I put out last week about them being closed for so long in their deep cleaning. I had several folks tell me that they talked to a contractor on site there, and this was, when I say several, I mean like 4 or 5 people reported in, and then it was closed due to mold remediation. But they also said that was supposed to be kept on the down low. I don't know why that was supposed to be kept on the down low, because the ATC actually had indicated earlier when they had said they were going to be doing some deep cleaning starting back in February, that they were cleaning for allergens and mold and other potentially harmful elements that could affect their visitors, their volunteers, and their staff. So I don't know why they were wanting to keep it on the down low, but because it's already been public information been put out there. But back when COVID hit, they started a renovation and they completed it and opened up for business. Well, when I say open up for business, they weren't selling anything there anymore, but they were open up, letting people come in, I suppose, use the restrooms and get water. But that was on May 27th of 2021. So why was the mold not found during the remediation? Mold is due to a lack of maintenance. So I'm in the industry. I'm in the construction industry, licensed home inspector, many courses, certifications on mold. I know all about mold. That is simply due to a lack of maintenance. So somewhere water's been getting into that, a roof leak, a wall leak, something like that. Somebody should have known that, and particularly during the renovations, it looks like they would have found it, because they finished the renovations in 2021, and now they started the mold remediation from finding it in February of 2022. So, mold's everywhere. You can't do anything about mold. It needs specific air temps, air temps that we live in. It needs specific air, just air in general, for it to proliferate, and you can't do anything about that. But you can do, the other thing it needs is water, and you can do something about that, and somebody was not looking after that. So it doesn't take, and not only that, it doesn't take months to clean a building of mold. So not exactly sure why it's taking them so long up there to do that, but they did post to their Facebook page, interesting, after my last week's update, and they indicated there that they would be having a table outside and a number you could call to get in touch with somebody if the table wasn't there because it was raining or something like that, so that you could check in. But I thought that was pretty interesting that after my last update and my rant on that they posted that. So folks out there, y'all had commented on that. So we are making a difference in what's going on. At least they're paying attention to what we're saying in our comments in the video. If you go back and look at their Facebook page, they say the visitor center is currently closed for routine maintenance. So while mold is everywhere outside, it's not routine to have to shut down a place for mold remediation. That's not something that people do on a regular basis. And so, to be fair to the ATC and fair and balanced in what I'm putting out there, I did have one person from the community contact me and say that his son was doing a Calnear Triple Crown, and that's blouse. And they had a good experience with the employee there at the ATC. His name was Dave. And they kind of got there close to closing, but Dave stayed for a long, long time after closing, just talking to him and explaining things to him. And then the next day, then they went back as well, and Dave and another individual had actually got the table out there early. So just wanted to put that out there as well. So I'm being fair about things, and really through all my rants about the ATC, understand that that is mostly directed at Sandra Marr, the president and CEO, who I think has set the ATC light years back among trail supporters with her actions and inactions to hikers and just general malaise towards the hikers out there. So I'm sure most of the ATC staff, though numerous as they are by and large great people who got into this career for the love of hiking and the outdoors and perhaps even the love of the AT, and they possibly want to help hikers. So even if the ATC mandate does not include doing so, I'm sure there are great people out there. So, but we've just got an issue at the top, and that needs to change. So let's go on to something different. So Jimmy J. McCormick, he sent in a warning to everyone to check your pack. So these pictures, he said, are probably from the CDT or the PCT, but this is applicable also to the AT, that on a sunny day in your pack, and right now while we're in the shoulder season, your pack gets warm sitting in the sun or warm just being on you, and you may wind up with Jake the Snake curled up either under your pack or in your pack. So be sure you're checking that as you're out there, with your pack off, getting ready to pack up or getting ready to pack up in the mornings. And then also wanted to give a shout out there to Tony from Random Adventures 2.0. He has gone home for the rest of his rehab from his stroke. And you'll recall a couple weeks ago he had a stroke, and I had put out that we wanted y'all to go to his channel, and he had hit 500 subscribers, and so he was really pumped up about that. So I wanted everybody to go out there, and we wanted to push that to 1,000 subscribers in as short a time as possible. And so I don't know, he's had his channel, I think, for a year or more, and in just 2 weeks, y'all pushed him over that 1,000 subscriber mark. So I know that really pumped him up. So positivity is a great thing for healing. So thank you so much for going out there and doing that. Congratulations to you, Tony. And for some news for this channel right here, I have hit 1 million views. So I think that is awesome. Thank you, hiker community out there, for helping me do that. I've never had 1 million of anything unless it's 1 million grains of dirt or something, but that's pretty awesome. And those reviews will just continue to bring in more people to the community. And the biggest thing we want to do is we want everybody to know our love of hiking, so that maybe they can have a little piece of that as well. And just think about that. If we inspire 1% of those views out there, if 1% of those views inspired some type of act of kindness or addition to the community, that would be 10,000 folks that did an act of kindness, and then another 10,000 that received that act of kindness. So that's what we're all about here. People getting out there on the trail and just enjoying being a part of the hiker community. And then also last week, I started that Patreon account. Already got some members that have plugged into that. So thanks a lot for that, folks. I'll be getting that merch out to you as soon as possible when I get back from my Poland mission trip. But thanks to all that have joined so far. And if others out there believe in the mission of this channel and just and want to help out, then I'd greatly appreciate that. It will go to a good cause of helping and support and build the hiker community and helping through hikers out there. So as indicated, I'll be going to Poland. Trail Boss and I will be heading out here in just a few short hours. So send us some good vibes. Pray for us particularly. And just hopefully I'll be able to bring my next update will be from a different hemisphere over there helping Ukrainian refugees in Poland. And last but certainly not least, if you're a believer, he is risen. Appreciate you, and we'll see you out there.